Good Monday morning. I'm going to start off this morning with the business tip because there's a cool twist we found with the tax extension. Obviously, everyone knows that the tax extension has been extended for first-time home buyers, the $8,000 tax credit. But the $6,500, that's for move-up buyers. The way that rule reads is that the anybody to get the move-up buy credit, the $6,500 buy credit, is they have to have owner occupied and lived in their home 5 consecutive years out of the last 8 years. Well, a question came from Lois Kingsford, one of our great agents, and Ann Fay up north also asked this question. We did a little research, got our accountant involved. As it turns out, while it's not real apparent in just first glance when you look at all the bullet points on the rules of the tax of the $6,500 tax credit, you don't even have to sell your old house. So let's say you've got a couple empty nesters, whatever, and they want to convert their house that they live in, that they've lived in at least 5 consecutive years out of the last 8, to a rental, but then buy a new house. They can do that. So you don't have to sell that other house. As we know in this market, it may take a while to sell that other house. You may not get it done before the June 30th deadline. You have to write the offer by April 30th, June 30th deadline. So you've got people that they don't even have to sell that first house. Take it one step further. We also check this, it's in the law. You don't even have to currently own that house. The rule says that you have to have owner occupied the house 5 consecutive of the last 8 years. So if for the last 2 years, maybe it was a divorce and so you sold the house, don't even own it anymore, you don't have to have owned the house just as long as you owned it and occupied it 5 consecutive years of the last 8. So you could have been out of the house 2, even 3 years, and still now buying a house to get that $6,500 tax credit. That is a huge deal. When you look at that, that opens up the market to people that maybe we have a starter home. Maybe they were first-time home buyers 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Now they want to convert that to a rental. I guess they'd have to be 5 years or more because it has to be 5 consecutive years. Maybe they want to convert that to a rental and move up. $6,500 tax credit. Obviously, when we give people that advice, we need to always refer them to their accountant to have it checked out. I'm also sending out a separate email, this video this morning, that talks specifically. I had our accountant do some research, and it underlines specifically where it talks about that language. So the best thing to do is pass on the information that I'm giving you that comes from the IRS. And of course, always have your people talk to their accountant. But there's a couple unique things in there, and I think we can market those. We're working with the graphics department to get some materials ready for you so that it talks obviously about the standard $8,000 tax credit, but these new twists for the $6,500 one. So I would really go back through your sphere list and pick through who might qualify for that, and you might look like the good guy because not a lot of people know that that's actually going on. Want to remind everybody, Dave Liniger is going to be in Portland. You've heard me talk about this for several weeks. We've now got 2 buses going up, motor coaches, 2 motor coaches going up. The one's going to board in Eugene at 6:30 a.m. Yes, that is a.m., Jan. 6:30 a.m. in Eugene on Wednesday, which is the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. On the 18th, the other one's going to board in our Albany office for our North folks. That's going to board at 7:15. So make sure you're on time for those buses. If you have not RSVP'd, you can still do so. Because we've moved to 2 buses, we have some extra room. We have some seats left. Heather does or something like that. We've got plenty of room for everybody. So if you haven't RSVP'd and you want to come, just show up really the morning of. If you haven't RSVP'd, I don't know why. This is a free event. We're taking care of the transportation to get you up there. Dave Liniger, it's the founder of RE/MAX. As I mentioned, this isn't raw RE/MAX stuff. This is good stuff. What's happening with the buyers that are coming into the buying market nationwide over the next several years, immigration, what's going on with the housing market, that type of thing. So it's not like a RE/MAX sales rally where we're all going to jump and sing songs, but this has really good, valuable information. So I would encourage you to join in on that. And actually, to make it easier on some, since we've got 2 buses, one will be an express bus coming home. It'll come straight back right after the meeting at 11:30, stop in Albany, drop folks off for the north, and then return to Eugene. And then the other bus will be stopping at Bridgeport Shopping Center, so those that want to eat, my favorite sport, or shop can do that. We're going to have like a 90-minute stop at Bridgeport, so that'll get home a couple hours later than the express bus. So please make sure to join in for that, and again, we've got room for that. Had a lot of agents ask me about the short sale tax forgiveness. We sent out some information quite a bit ago about when the lender forgives debt, There's potential tax consequences. The IRS has a rule temporarily that suspends those consequences for most people for owner-occupied properties. It is only owner-occupied, and there's some income limits that apply. I'm going to get an email out with that, just like I'm getting an email out this morning following this video on the tax credit information. So keep those emails, forward them to your folks. It has in writing what those rules are. We don't want to be giving people tax advice. So on a less upbeat note, Linda Falcone, we're having her celebration of life. Her family has, it sounds like they've done a great job planning for this. It's at the Herb Memorial Union Ballroom down on campus. It's tonight. It's Monday evening, 5:30. So hopefully we can have some time to share in Linda's memory there for that. So Heather's got a class coming up in Corvallis, a PowerPoint class. It's actually to teach folks how to do PowerPoint. That'll be in Corvallis. We'll have one in Eugene later, but for your Corvallis folks, you'll want to keep that in mind, and that's Tuesday. I assume, Heather, I'm looking at you, making sure that's right. Okay, good. For birthdays, we've got Dave Pouch is tomorrow up in our Albany office. Happy birthday, Dave. Lauren Walmsley over at Precision Funding. Lauren is a year older on Wednesday. Right behind him Thursday, Debbie Alexander. Now, Debbie's in our coastal office, so a lot of you may not know Debbie, but happy birthday, Debbie. And on the 22nd, Sunday, Joanne is turning a year older. I think she's going to be 22 or something like that. Isn't that right, Joanne Hallett? And then also Catherine Sampson's getting a year older on Sunday, so happy birthday to everybody there. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.